Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Julie from StoryADay here, and I'm doing something a little different this week. I am recording this podcast also as a video podcast. So if you want to come over to YouTube and have a look for it, you can find it at the StoryADay page at YouTube. It's not very exciting visually, I have to tell you. It is just me in front of the triumphant return of the brick wall, which if you've seen any of the Superstars videos or any of the videos I've done, you will have seen this wall before. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to program a Pavlovian response into you so that when you see me in front of this brick wall, you immediately feel stressed and excited and ready to write. So this is me getting ready for StoryADay May. It is March, it's time. A lot of you have been asking about what's going on and what's going to be happening in May. So I've got a little bit of an update for you. I'm hard at work on the prompts. I've got a massive mind map spider web thing happening with the prompts for this year. I will be running, they'll be on the website, same as usual, free and available to everybody. And there'll be blog comments that you can go in every day, and you can sign up just to do that. They'll be just sign up to send me reminders that there's a prompt up every day, and you will get those. Or you can sign up to be part of the Superstars group, which is a little bit more of a commitment. It is something that I've done twice now, and it has been really great. Really great way to connect with other writers. I will say that of the people who write the most and who finish StoryADay, the majority of people who are still there at the end of the month are the superstars. People who have plunked down some money, made a commitment, got to know, face to face the other people in the group. I'm not saying you can't do it without doing that, but there is a lot to be gained. So I'm beefing up that program all the time. What you get, you'll get, and this is why I've dragged out the backdrop, and I'm sitting in front of my brick wall and practicing my video techniques because I'm going to be recording 31 pep talks and explainers on the writing prompts for this year's all new material, which is kind of crazy. I should probably just repeat it year after year, but that wouldn't be any fun, would it? So, and I'm also revamping the design of the Superstars, the membership site. So that's going to be hopefully really easy to use and very pretty. I'm hoping the main site will get a little bit of a facelift as well, but let's face it, the content is the important part. So that's what I'm working on now. And I will be opening up the Superstars stuff for sign up now. You can actually sign up and say, yes, I'm going to be taking part in StoryADay at the site. You can just sign up, and then that will get you your reminder emails during the program. A little nag every day from me saying, prompt's ready, go write. But I will be opening up the Superstars group in April, and I'm going to be talking more about that as we go along. But basically, you get videos like this if you're watching, or the audios if you prefer that. You get a special area of the site where just you and the superstars get to hang out. We do weekly video prompts that you can come along to. You can hide, you can close off your camera and not talk if you don't want to, but we just we hang out and we chat about how it's going. But then something else that I did after September last year, I introduced a Slack channel. I don't know if you're familiar with Slack, but it's like a little private social media network. So you've got all the benefits of connecting with people, but it's very, very focused. You're not getting distracted by Auntie Dot's cat pictures and by your cousin's political rants. It's just us in this little channel. And you can set notifications so that it'll pop up on your phone if somebody's like, I'm sitting down to write, does anybody want to do a sprint? Or you can mute that and you can just check in at the end of the day to see what's been happening. Really great. It's been a wonderful way to support each other and support each other through days when rejections are coming in, or when it's hard to write, or just when there's a llama related photograph to share. For some reason we have begun sharing llama photographs, but it's great fun, and that's one of the things we're doing. And then after this StoryADay September, I was kind of reluctant to let this go. So I've been running monthly meetups and hangouts for the people who were already in Superstars. So this year, when Superstars launches, when you sign up in April, you're getting 12 months of support. It's not just going to be for May. And last year, what I did is people who were in the May one got invited back into Superstars in September if they wanted to, and they could participate in that small group again. This year, that's just going to be I'm promising that up front. You get invited in May, and there'll be daily prompts. You'll get invited back in September, and there'll be the same prompts, but you get to participate in the group again. And there'll be participation in the Slack channel. There is, as well as the weekly hangouts during the challenges, I will be doing a monthly hangout where we get together and talk about the topic of the month and then do some writing sprints. That's happening on Monday. If you want to experience what that's like, I am opening it up to the wider community, and you can sign up. There'll be a link in the notes for this episode. You can sign up for that, and you've probably already heard about it from me, and a lot of you have already signed up. I hope you can make it. If you don't make it, I'll send you a recording of the bit that I do. I won't, like the discussion part, I won't record, but the bit that I'm going to chat more about this month's themes at the beginning. So I'll put up a recording and you can see what that's all about if you can't make it on Monday night. So having said all that, that's coming, and it's in progress, and I will be telling you more about that. This month, in March 2019, our theme at the blog and in the podcast and at the hangout is going to be goals versus reality. And I want to talk about that because StoryADay was born under the star of setting a big goal and putting everything aside until it was achieved. I want you to focus in May on writing your short stories, and if you need to miss TV shows and if you need to turn down invitations, I want you to do whatever you can to prove to yourself that yes, you can write every day. You can push out more work than you think you can. You can push yourself. You can be more creative, not less. You can do this. That's what I want you to do in May. But May is 1 month of the year, and you may have done this once, and this is the 9th year that we're doing this. There's a lot of life in between there, and you can't sustain that pace 12 months out of the year, year after year. So we need to think about what is our reality in months when we're not doing challenges. They can be so useful, but you can't live that way. You'll burn out. So there are different types of goals that you can set. Is goal setting even useful? It's different for different people. I don't think you can have anybody tell you how to set a goal and have it work for you. You can listen to how other people set their goals, and it is helpful. Sometimes because you listen to it and go, it's not going to work for me. Like, I know the Jerry Seinfeld method where he has a calendar and he puts an X on the calendar every day that he writes a joke. And then he has a streak going and he doesn't want to break the streak. So that helps him. And a lot of people use that kind of thing. And social media does this all the time. There's those Snapchat streaks and all kinds of stuff like that. Me, ironically, for somebody who set up a monthly challenge, that stuff does not work for me. Streaks, don't care. Do nothing for me. I can break a streak and never look back. So that might work for you, but it might not. There's other types of goals that you can set. I set a monthly word, when I'm working on a novel, I'll set a monthly, or focusing on fiction, monthly word count goal, because I know that I'm not going to write every day. And I don't want to feel like I'm behind. If it's a monthly goal and I'm coming towards the end of the month and I'm like way away from it, I know that like for 7 days, I just need to knuckle down and work every day and work on my fiction. That for me works much, much better than trying to keep a streak going. Because I definitely am susceptible to the what the hell effect. If I break the streak once, that's it. Who cares? And I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to think you failed because you missed a goal and give up writing. Because I want your stories. I want to read your stories. I want you to be sharing your stories. I want you to be living the life of a writer that you want for yourself. So I do think it's important when you're thinking about goal setting to think about this, what I call the sliding scale. There are days when writing comes easily. There are days when writing comes hard, but you can still do it. And there are days when you just need to sit on the couch and binge watch The Passage. And we have different levels of mental reserves. We have emotional issues, all of us, some more than others. But we also have stressors. We have people who call us up and say, it's a beautiful day, let's go for a picnic. We have people who call us up and say, my life is falling apart, I need to talk to you. And then we have the emotional hangover from that. Life happens, and you need days off, and you need days where you can step away from your self-imposed work and live life. So I think it's important to have that kind of sliding scale, and not to set your goals based on the best of all possible days. Yes, some days you can write 5,000 words in a day. Or yes, on 4 days last week, you wrote 2,000 words. But probably everything clicked into place on those days, and nobody was interrupting you, and you were feeling strong, and you'd eaten well, and you'd slept well. I think it's good to know that, and that's one of the reasons I do Story a Day, because you've got to know what you're capable of. But I don't think you can plan for that. I think that you need to plan for this sliding scale. What can I do on a good day? What can I do on a less good day? And what can I do on a really crappy day? On, a day when I'm just not up to it. And then you have to set your goals for the month or for the year or whatever, and build in space for that. I took a course from Jerry B. Jenkins about writing a novel, and he told you to work out how much you could write every day. He told you to work out a timeline then for writing X amount of words that you thought were going to be in your novel. And then he said something like, and I should have looked this up, but I didn't. He said something like, and then add a third. So if you thought you could write your novel in 100 days, budget 133. Because you need days off, you need vacation, you need days when you go to the dentist, you need days when you just can't write, you need days when you just sit and think. And I thought that was really wise. And the man has written hundreds of books. Well, he's written a lot of books. So he knows what he's talking about. And then I was listening to another writer who was talking about what she can do on a good day and what she can do on a bad day. And I was thrilled to hear her say that, on a bad day, sometimes that looks like sitting on the couch and not writing anything, because I think that's a really realistic way of looking at our progress. And this is somebody who is published and who does write a lot and does a lot, gets a lot done, and still has days where it's okay to just say, this is not happening today. There are days when sometimes that's just laziness, and you need to have strategies to kickstart yourself out of that. And I do have lots of stuff on the blog about that. If you go to the StoryADay.org and you look up productivity in the little search box, you'll see stuff about that. If you go to Amazon and look up my name and breaking writer's blocks, there's a little ebook there full of like 76 ways to break writer's blocks. And it's lots of stuff like, moving your body and going out for a walk and having a shower and changing the way you write, standing up, dictating, lots of tricks like that to get yourself going, because there's a difference between resistance to starting work and knowing that it's just not going to happen today because life. So this month I'm going to be pushing you to think about how you handle goals, how you deal with goals, whether your goals are realistic, whether you're looking at the best of all possible writing days, or whether you are looking at the average writing day and looking at the trend over time. I know my trend has got so much better, and I have to try and remind myself of that on days when the writing isn't happening, or that I'm not getting to it, or I'm lazy, or I'm depressed, or whatever it is. The trajectory is going in the right direction. I write more, I write better, I'm more connected to other writers. This is much more a central part of my life than it was 10 years ago. These are all good things. And I think that is part of my goal and part of my reality. I've got lots of other stuff I want to talk about. What if reality doesn't match up? I want to talk about setting your expectations. I want to talk about the difference between reality and cynicism. Some of that's going to happen on Monday night, if you can come to the hangout. And I think I covered quite a lot here. I've not been watching the clock. This is supposed to be about a 15-minute podcast. I have no idea how long I went. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm going to encourage you to come over to the blog and look at the prompts that I put up in February. If you haven't already, it was kind of fun. I named most of them after board games. There's a little Easter egg for any gamers out there. And then I will be posting prompts and articles this month at storyaday.org and working on the revamp of the website. So I will wish you many, many happy writing days. I encourage you to look at your trajectory, your reality, and think about how you can set goals that set you up for success. And if you have any questions, you can email me at julie@storyaday.org. You can find me at the blog. You can leave questions under the YouTube video, I believe. And that's it. I'm going to stop now and send you off to write something today, I hope, or at the very least, come up with some ideas and think about your writing, and have a great writing week.